Willis, have you addressed the team at all since you've been spending time with them?
No. I heard that they showed a film of some of my expert basketball playing, but I had not. I just been eating with the guys and watching them play. Been enjoyable.
You weren't with them to see that movie on Monday night?
I didn't see the movie. I want to see it though. And they kind of made me be a. They thought I was a mean guy, but I really wasn't. You know.
What do you think of West Point? What do you think of West Point being up here?
I like it. I used to have a basketball camp just up the road 6 miles, Cornwall and Hudson, New York Military Academy, and Coach Knight used to run that for me. So I like the area. I know the area. I haven't spent much time at West Point, but it's a beautiful place this time of year.
You've had a chance to spend time with Phil Jackson the last couple of days, and what do you think the direction he has the team going in right now?
Well, it's the one thing I believe is that if anybody can change the fate of the New York Knicks, I think Phil will do it. I mean, he's had a remarkable career as a basketball coach, and what he's been able to do, what he did in Chicago and in LA. And I think he's a very shrewd basketball player. I'm sure some of that came from Red, and some of it came from Bill Fitch, who was his actual college coach and all, and some of the experiences he's had. So I think that, and I think Fisher is going to do a good job. I like the combination. I'm really happy that Phil, I just didn't think he'll ever come back to New York. I really didn't think that. I mean, people were saying, what do you think? People call me, I just wouldn't call them back because I don't want to say anything that, you know, keep it from happening if it's going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to happen.
Why, Willis? Why didn't you think it?
Well, I just thought he was just so, you know, had so many ties to LA, you know, and that it just wouldn't happen. But I'm really happy that it did happen.
What do you think is necessary for this team to get back in the playoffs?
Oh, I think that I believe that we have enough talent. You know, I just they got to play hard and play defense, and I think they're going to play hard, and I think they'll play defense, and they'll be unselfish. You know, I really believe that if everybody stay fairly healthy, I mean, Mario obviously is important, and they keep people healthy, I think they'll make it with the players they got now.
What does it say about Carmelo Anthony that you came back to New York and really wanted to represent the city and resign with him?
Well, I always thought that at the end of the day that Carmelo would come back to New York to play because of the years, and I think he likes New York. I mean, I think the fans like him, and you know, and I think he came to New York because I think he thought he had a chance maybe to win a championship here, and he had work undone. And I think he enjoyed visiting other places, but I never thought he would actually leave New York. I really would have been upset. I really would have been surprised.
Willis, you're undoubtedly one of the all-time greats of this franchise. How do you think Carmelo has carried himself as the face of the team?
Well, I think he's been a great Knick. The one thing, I mean, I'm sitting in my living room in Louisiana, down in Ruston, Louisiana, watching him. And, you know, he's a great offensive player. I love watching him play and score. But I know, and as Phil has said, he thinks he can do a lot more, and I think he will do more. And I think this is going to be his team, and it is his team, and I think he wants to do the thing that I think he set out to do here, and that's win the championship.
Willis, when you say, like, you know, they have to play together, play defense. But when you look at the roster and the personnel, what do you say is the strength of this team?
I'm not sure what the strengths are going to be of this team, but I think the unity is going to be better, the defense is going to be better, and they're going to play as a good unit on offense, and so that's going to create more opportunities for them. And I think that, you know, the East is not as strong as the West, so I think they can, because of that, they have a shot to definitely get to the playoffs, and it's a matter of time, because I think as you always say, you know, the future is always going to be bright. Next year they're going to have a chance probably to add a very important piece to this team, and that's probably going to be very significant. I think, you know, we're getting to a point where that if some of these young players come along, and they got some young talent, I think, and they're going to have to get a couple more pieces, I believe, but that's for the long run. But I think right now they've got enough talent to be a playoff team.
Willis, did Phil ask you to
talk to any of the players or give advice or maybe even work with anyone?
No, I just hanging out. Just hanging out. I think it's kind of nice just to be here because quite a few of the players I know, and it's just kind of a nice place to be and at a training camp. And I hope that this, maybe that the movie was an inspiration. I don't know, but I think it's just a great opportunity for me to be here and be a part of something that be supportive of Phil and Fisher. I don't know him except watching him play, and I was a big fan of him, the way he handled himself with the OKC, and for them actually go and bring him out of retirement, which means that they felt that he gave that team some added depth and maturity and was inspirational to his players. And I saw that all the time on the timeouts and stuff where he was involved with the other players, and I think that he's going to be, has a chance to be a good coach because he's one of Phil Jackson's disciples, and I think Phil has proven that he knows a lot about the game of basketball.
Willis, you stepped in, you were one of the first guys who really stepped in right away and start coaching after you finished playing. How different is the league today, and how difficult a transition is that, do you think, it will be for there?
Well, the league is tougher, it's bigger. I think coaching is I wished I could have been as good a coach as Phil Jackson. I mean, if you ask me my wish, I wished I could have been as good a coach as Phil Jackson. I mean, because I think he learned, I think he learned a lot from Red Holzman, who, when he was hurt and spent time with Red, then he went to coach in Albany for those years there, and then he went to Chicago. I mean, he's grown into being who he is, and he's a great basketball ambassador. He's done something that nobody else has ever done, that I don't think nobody else will ever do again. And I'm glad to know that he and I were teammates and friends.
Well, you guys, obviously, you and Phil both went to other places, but are you surprised so long down the road, the reverential feelings for that team and maybe the ties that you guys still have to each other, to that team?
I think generally any group of guys who play together and experience championship cup, unbelievable that we still are the only team that won. Because I thought Patrick, when he was here, they were going to win a couple of championships. And we had it was something unique. I think it's a unique experience for anybody to ever have a chance to play on a championship team. And we were there for about 4 years. I mean, we had a group of guys that were close enough to have won all 4 years. And actually, the Knicks team played in. They had 3 chances. They played the Lakers beat us on one. That's the year I didn't play, which was unfortunate because I think if I played, maybe we would have had enough to beat them. But you grow, those kind of friendships grow. We got the Senator, and obviously Bill's no longer here. Clyde, who was a great player, Barnett. I mean, those are names that are going to always be someone that you have a lot of respect and admiration for. And
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm done.
I'm sorry about
I'm done.
I just wanted to ask you, you're saying next year they'll obviously have the money and the financial space to go out and get another piece. When you look at the team as constructed now, is it defensive sort of guy? What do you see is the missing thing they need to really put over this offense?
I would think a great big man. Everybody need a great big man that can play. I don't know exactly what they'll need. I mean, because some of the young players they got here may develop. I mean, we don't know. I mean, but I know that they'll have a chance to add someone that can be a significant player because of the salary cap structure and all that.
What are your impressions of Anthony Early? What are your impressions?
I didn't hear you.
Anthony Early, what are your impressions of him?
Well, I think he's got a chance to be a good player. I mean, it's time. With him, it's time. Like all of them, we always we want them better than they are, sooner than they are. But I know that the coaching staff is high. They like it.
What do you think about their new big man, their new center, D'Alembert? What do you think about their new center, D'Alembert?
I like him. I think, watched him when he was at Seton Hall, and aggressive player that would be a good shot blocker and a good rebounder. I think that he'll be part of the reason that the Knicks would be a better defensive team.